What is up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to the Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the J. Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Last week we did horror battles, and if you haven't checked that out yet, please go do so. It was a good week overall. There were 3 missed videos, and I do apologize for that. So let's hope there's not 3 missed videos this week, and you will find out. So hopefully everyone makes their videos this week. So in doing horror battles last week, this week we are doing another theme, and this is a new theme, one that we have never done here on Late Night Frights before. We have done a few that might be a little bit similar, but it's very new, original, and unique, and it's a really cool one. It gives us a lot of room to pick different horror films and thrillers and things like that that are in the same subgenre of horror, and this is our Paranoia theme. So, you know, basically, it's self-explanatory. It explains itself. A horror film with a lot of paranoid states in it, where the characters just don't know what's going on and can't seem to get a grasp on the reality. And is this real? Is this not? And they're just very paranoid. And the film that I chose to review is not really a full-blown horror. It's got different elements mixed in with it, but it does have horror elements mixed with thriller, action, suspense, things like that. Some comedy too, and it is a film starring Ashton Kutcher and Amy Smart, and it is The Butterfly Effect.
Remember when we were kids and I used to have those blackouts? Well, some of those memories have been coming back to me.
There are moments in life we choose to remember.
Do you think that we'll be together forever?
And some memories we can never forget.
All I know is that by reading these journals, I might be able to get Kaylee back.
I'd think twice about what you're doing. You could wake up a lot more messed up than you are now.
I haven't seen results like this before.
But what if you could go back in time?
You are completely relaxed. Think of it like a movie. You can pause, rewind, or slow down.
Could you save the one person that mattered the most?
Honey, are you all right?
You. Incredible. I lost you once, and I'm not losing you again.
Evan, you never lost me. What are you talking about?
You got a nice life.
You stay away from us.
It's been a while since I could.
What about Kaylee? Is she all right? If I go back to the beginning, I might be able to save her. Just tell me if you see anything weird. Weirder than this. Kaylee, that you were happy once with me.
Why don't you go back and save me?
How are you doing this?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
You can't change who people are without destroying who they were.
Every time I try to go back in time and help someone, everything just goes wrong.
Oh my God, what did we do?
You can't play God.
The Butterfly Effect.
Okay, so The Butterfly Effect was made in 2004. This is one that was directed by Eric Bress and J. Makira Gruber. Really weird last names, guys. I always have to look at the back. It's like the directors always seem to have a very strange last name. Nothing can be common anymore. But this one is starring, as I stated before, Ashton Kutcher and Amy Smart. Also, Eric Stoltz makes an appearance in the film a few times. He actually plays the father to one of the characters. Also, alongside Eric Stoltz is William Lee Scott, Eldon Henson, Logan Lerman, with Ethan Suplee and Melora Walters. So pretty big cast. And the basic plot around this one, you guys know how we do things here on Late Night Frights. I'm not going to spoil the film. I'm going to go over the plot, the acting, the directing, the feeling and vibe of the movie, and then give my overall thoughts and opinions and a rating of the film. So the plot around this one follows a character played by Ashton Kutcher And we see throughout the film different parts of his life. We go back from his childhood to his teenage years to adulthood, and we see that he's in college, and things are just not really going right for him at all. It seems like he's a bookworm, but he's also got. It's hard to explain his social status. He's kind of an outcast in a way in college. He doesn't really have many friends, but one who's just really weird guy who's got like spiked hair and chains. So he's not really doing too great, and we get to see why he's so down, so depressed, living in the books, living in his journals, and we get to see why throughout different pieces of his life. So one night he opens up a journal. This girl finds it under his bed, thinks it's porn, opens the journal, starts to read it, and when she starts to read it, the room starts to shake. His world just starts to pretty much crumble, and it takes him back to that memory. And it gives him an option to either change that memory or let it play out the way that it happened. And soon he figures out that by changing a memory, it can change the outcome of his life. And his life is already pretty shitty. It's going down the drain. He's not getting things done. He's in college, but he's not really doing too well. He's not turning in the tests on time. Things are just not going so good for him. So he decides, hey, maybe I can change everything that happened in the past. Maybe I can make myself happy. Maybe I can make things better. And by doing this, yeah, it might make things better, but you always got to understand there is a butterfly effect. There is a ripple. And things are always going to happen. There's always going to be consequences from your actions, no matter what they are. And that's pretty much the basis of this story. He thinks it's all good and dandy, and he can make everything better. But by doing this, he causes. I was trying to say causes and creates at the same time. He causes different events, even worse events that had happened to occur. So, that is the basic plot of the movie. Alongside him is his true love throughout the entire film, played by Amy Smart, and he's just trying to get back to her throughout the entire movie. And just the way it ends was so sad and so devastating with what has to happen. And I won't spoil it, but I've always loved that ending in a kind of bittersweet way of what he had to do. His mom, the female actress who plays his mom, did a really good job. His dad, very creepy. And we get to see throughout the film that his dad, there's a mental illness that runs in his family. And his dad was actually put in a mental hospital for saying he could do the same thing, but it was with photographs. What happened is when he was a kid, he started writing in his journal every single day up until college years. So he has journals and journals and journals piled up under his bed with all these memories. And they're afraid that, he has his dad's mental illness once he starts opening the journals up and saying that he can travel back in time and change things, which is pretty much the exact same thing that his father did with photographs, and it got him put in a nut house. But some of the events that he tries to go back and change, I won't spoil them. He goes back to his childhood a couple times, goes back to his teenage years, goes to actually see his father back in one of his memories, and he just realizes that things are better left alone. There is no fixing the past. The past is the past. By doing so, you're going to cause a ripple and effect, and it's going to make matters much, much worse. Deal the hand you're dealt, pretty much. And it's a great film. It's one that I've always loved. Some people don't like it. I really don't understand why. The acting is great. I thought Ashton Kutcher did a really good job in this movie. Everybody who was in it did. Amy Smart, really felt for her character many times through the film. Some creepy things that Eric Stoltz does to the kids. I won't go into that. And it's like a oppressed memory that Ashton Kutcher's character has kept in his mind. And going back and visiting that scene was crazy. A lot of things about this movie I love. Everything from the past, present, and future, and revisiting all of those different sections of his life and trying to change it. It's really cool. It makes you think, would you do it if you could? And, at first you would think, yes, I would go back and I would change this. I would change this. I would make this better. But after seeing this and after seeing the damage that it actually causes, it's just not worth it. Leave the past in the past. So, talking about the plot, loved the plot. Thought it was great. Start to finish, really enjoyable, very sad at times, depressing, action-packed, comedic at times, great plot. Acting, Ashton Kutcher, Amy Smart, Eric Stoltz, William Lee Scott, Eldon Henson, everyone involved with the film did a good job. The children, the child actors, the teenage actors, and the adult actors portraying the older characters, everyone did a great job. Loved everything about the casting, the directing, by the written and directed by Eric Bress and J. Makar Gruber. The very two weird named directors, last named anyway. Very good. The shots, everything about it. Really liked the style. It felt like there was in some scenes, a different, like a filter used, different lenses maybe for different shots. Really cool. I like when directors mix it up, and I could be completely off. Maybe I was just seeing that, but I thought there was different lenses used for different, the past, present, and, things like that. I think I might have said earlier that he went in the future. He doesn't go in the future because he's not written anything about the future. He goes in the past, but it's really cool to see the past from the present and, what he has to do and how everyone thinks, oh my God, he's crazy, what's going on, and everything that alters his future, everything that alters his universe. Directing, acting, very good. Everything about this film. Definitely check it out. Is it going to be everyone's cup of tea? No. Is it a straight horror film? Absolutely not. Many different elements, but a very great film. This is actually the Butterfly Effect collection containing the Butterfly Effect and the Butterfly Effect 2, which really wasn't that good at all. But the original was really good. And if I had to rate it overall, I'm gonna go 4.8 out of 5. I really didn't see too many flaws with this movie. So, yep, that's pretty much all I can say about the Butterfly Effect. Great movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it already. Very paranoid movie. Very, a lot of paranoia within it, with Ashton Kutcher thinking, am I crazy? Are they telling the truth? Is this real? Is my reality real? Am I actually visiting the past? What was going on with my father? Questioning himself throughout the entire film, and that adds the paranoia aspect to the film. So, thank you so much for watching. You just watched Late Night Frights. You just watched my review over the Butterfly Effect for our Paranoia theme for 2015. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, Chris Brock will be reviewing a Paranoia-themed film, getting tongue-tied, a Paranoia-themed film of his choice, and that will continue throughout the week with all of our members. Once again, I'm the Jay Sloan. You just watched Late Night Frights. Comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, keep it horror. Peace.